A new day, a new setback for Donald Trump as the Pennsylvania Supreme Court strikes down a Republican challenge to mail-in ballots. The lawsuit said that permitting no-excuse mail-in voting violated the Constitution, with the Trump campaign attempting to invalidate millions of votes in that state. The ruling says that they failed to prove that even a single vote was fraudulent. The suit is one of more than 26 pro-Trump election challenges dismissed by the courts in several states, not just Pennsylvania. Well, joining us right now is former DNC senior advisor Doug Thornell and former aide to Mitt Romney, Lauren Zelt. Welcome to both of you. Lauren, I do want to start with you. What do you make of the Trump campaign's consistent challenges against the election results, despite having so many of those cases thrown out, some ridiculed? What are they trying to prove by continuing this fight?
I think that Donald Trump is going to continue this fight until the very end. It's what his supporters want to see. Just yesterday in Michigan, people were rallying, I believe at the state capitol there, saying that the election wasn't over. I think the percentage of Republicans who agree that this fight should continue on will continue to decrease. We've already seen top lawmakers on Capitol Hill urge Donald Trump to stop the fight and to move on. But this is who Trump is. He is not going to concede this election. He said that. He said that, should the Electoral College certify a Biden win, he still won't concede because he's still questioning the legitimacy of the election, which candidly is very dangerous for our democracy. But that said, I do think you are seeing the number of Trump supporters that want him to continue this fight go down by the numbers. And I think we'll continue to see that through December and into the new year. I think a lot of Republicans would like to move on to focus on holding the Senate, especially in places like Georgia, where I do believe that we will be victorious, and moving on and working to make sure that Republicans are standing up to some of the more progressive policy agendas put forth by Democrats, including those being pushed by AOC, the Squad, and the far left.
Well, if you have not read the interesting reporting by the Washington Post as yet, as you wake up this morning, grab a big tub of popcorn or whatever leftover you have left and start reading it. The piece details President Trump's attempts to overturn the election results, focusing on what they call the 20 days of fantasy and failure between the November 3rd election and the day Trump finally greenlit Biden's transition. Okay, so get this. They spoke with 32 sources close to the president, including one who said, sequestered in the White House and brooding out of public view after his election defeat. Rageful and at times delirious in a torrent of private conversations, Trump was, in the telling of one close advisor, like Mad King George, referring to the king that lost, the King George that lost, America, muttering, "I won, I won, I won." That was my best dramatic reading of it, but it was really way more fascinating than I made it. But what's your reaction to that, Doug?
Well, it sounds like his entire administration summed up right there in that paragraph. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary about how Trump is leaving the White House. This is how he's conducted himself from start to finish. Totally chaotic, off the rails, has no real plans, very emotional. It's all driven by what's in his best interest and what's in the best interest of the American people. And this is really, look, this is a real dangerous time for him to be doing this. We're obviously in the middle of a pandemic. The economy is very soft right now. And, the president just recently allowed, the GSA to start the transition, which slowed down a lot of work that the Biden folks could have been doing. And, they're hustling and they're putting in the right people, I think, who are going to sort of turn the ship around. But the Trump administration, history is going to report on them as having, really having a real negative impact on not only these 4 years, but also just helping the country move beyond these 4 years. He hasn't done anything in the last 3 weeks that is surprising, but it's pretty shameful.
And fairly scathing, some of the reporting in that Washington Post report. I'm going to have to leave it there with Doug Thornell and Lauren Zelt. Appreciate your time on this Sunday morning, guys.
Thanks, Kendis.
And back now to the coronavirus.